I can't believe y'all letting these joints sit, man. Like, y'all are asleep, bro. This is a Joe FreshGoods camo print, and y'all didn't pick this up. But let the outside clothes drop again, though. Them joints, they out of there. They out of there. I don't know. I like these joints, man. Y'all should really get into these. What's good, family? You are looking live at another episode of Special Delivery, and as y'all can see, or maybe you can't. Maybe you can see. We got the new Joe FreshGoods Beneath the Surface collaboration, and we got all this camo print up here. These boxes are camo. I'm camo. The sneakers are camo, and that's because Joe FreshGoods has his own camo print, which apparently has been a big goal of his. So it's really cool to see this come to life through this collaboration, which is also the 5th collab that he's done with New Balance so far. But I think the coolest part about this thing is kind of the inspiration that he drew from mid 2000s and 90s hip hop to, I think, something that stretches even back further than that, going into actual art. And we're gonna talk all about that today, but before we dive into it, y'all know what it is. We gotta actually unbox these joints, so let's do it. Sorry to rob y'all of a true unboxing, but y'all don't really care that much about the box, do y'all? As y'all can see, we have the shoes out already. I'm one guy, these are 2 shoes, we gotta get through them. This is the Joe FreshGoods Beneath the Surface collection. You got the little desert colorway right here. You got the little swamp colorway right here. And these are both the 610, which is a shoe that I've been looking forward to seeing a collaboration on. And I'm really glad that Joe FreshGoods got to it before anybody else did, because he really did these joints right, man. So the thing about this shoe is that it features this camo print that Joe created in his own sort of way. And the cool part about it is you got that camo print just all over the shoe. Like, the details on here are so crazy. So obviously you have this orange, black, and tan colorway just going throughout this sneaker right here. Definitely gives you a little bit of a Halloween vibe, which is why I'm confused that it dropped in the spring. But when you look at it, you see all the details on it. On these tan overlays right here, you've got this embroidered camo print that goes into it. Even on the mesh that you can see, just all up and down the shoe from the vamp all the way back to the heel, you got this camo look that you can't really see on this black shoe that well, which I also think is a really nice touch. It actually goes into the camo, but it's like some spots are lighter, some spots are darker, but you can tell like there's a different print with this thing. One of the cool parts about the 610 is actually the lace system on this joint. So you can see down here, the lace actually extends all the way to the toe and goes all the way up the tongue, which gives you a little bit more support. You see you got that JFG logo right there on the tongue, which is really cool. New Balance N right there, orange N, giving you the Beneath the Surface colorway right here. You got a little bit of brown right there on the collar right there. You get back to the pull tab. It's also in that orange and black. One of the coolest parts for me about this sneaker is actually this midsole and the outsole. It has this like white film over top of it that some people seem to have a problem with, but I think this actually gives the shoe a little bit of character. It definitely makes it feel more like a trail runner, more like a hiker, which is kind of the vibe, especially when it comes to the whole gorpcore style and era that we're in right now. You can see this, it has this endurance outsole right here to it. So obviously this is very rigid, it's very rugged, obviously made for the trail. Looks really nice, man. I really like this sneaker, yo. Like it's really cool. You go to the little swamp colorway, as you can see, it definitely feels a little bit more country, I would say, to be quite honest with you. Like it definitely gives you a little bit more of that swampy vibe, like the title says. So has that same camo print, except this time on the orange overlays. You can see the actual embroidered stitching is orange in this thing too. The mesh still has that camo print in it, and you can actually see it a little bit better on this green model right here, which is really cool. Same vibe with the laces, got the orange and black. You get a lace swap that is also orange with this joint, goes down to the toe as well. New Balance N is black. Actually looks a little bit better on the little swamp colorway, I think, than it does on the little desert joints right here. You go to the midsole, once again, it's got that white film on it. It looks really good, man. I really I really like this colorway. This was the Joe FreshGoods exclusive colorway. The Little Desert is definitely my favorite, but now that I have these in hand, I'm kind of regretting not actually going back and doubling up on these. It's fine though, I'll live with it, but this is a really nice colorway, especially if you can really do some creative stuff with this. With that orange lace swap, I think this one will go crazy, but man, this is just a really nice collection. The details, this is probably Joe FreshGoods' most detailed shoe yet as far as like materials and stitching and the way that it's put together goes. I really feel like this is one of his more creative projects yet. And I think that the camo print is what really sells it for me. And that goes into the whole beneath the surface story that comes with this sneaker. I think that stretches back decades into hip hop, rap, art, the art scene. It's all there. And we're going to talk about it now because it's story time. The dope thing about this sneaker is that this really is Joe FreshGoods' own camo print. Like, he developed this himself. And if you look at his Instagram, he said that that's something that he's always wanted to do as a designer. So big shouts to Joe, because he got it done and he did a really good job on these joints, man. But the coolest part about the beneath the surface theme that I think is kind of hidden here is the history that comes from camo print. Like, when I was researching this, I was like, why would Joe FreshGoods want to make a camo print so bad? What is it about camo print that kind of drew him to it? And so I started with what he said. He talked about the mid 2000s and even late 2000s, early 2010s version of hip hop, where there were so many folks out here just wearing camo print, right? Like, you remember the Bape camo print hoodies and the shark pants, and even on some sneakers that we have today, like some of the Adidas stuff that we've seen from Bape, and even the 2002 Rs that we got from New Balance that had the camo print in it. That's what this camo print was really inspired by. And you had rappers like Kanye West, Lil Wayne, Pharrell, even Jay-Z at times wearing camo print back in that mid 2000s, early 2010s era. And I think that really imprinted on the culture at large. But then when you really think about it, it even goes back before that. You had groups like Bone Thugs and Harmony and Wu-Tang Clan wearing camo print. You had Tupac, Biggie, like wearing camo print out here, just doing it in the camo print. And that's because camo really has some real roots in the fashion world. When you think about it, there were folks in the 80s and 90s who were going to these army surplus stores, buying camo print up for cheap because it was fly, it was fashionable, and it didn't cost that much. Like, you could get this stuff and it'll be unique to you. It'll be something that you were rocking specifically, and you could get it for the low. Like, that's what fashion is all about, to be completely honest with you. And that all started in part because of the art scene, right? So like, you have like folks like Andy Warhol, for example, who made these different camouflage prints that sort of warped camo into something that was made for war, into something that is made for everyday people, that everyday people could just rock. So you would take the camo print and change the colors, move the print around, warp it a little bit, make it something different, make it into something that was his own. And the fashion world kind of picked up on that and turned it into its own thing. And now in 2023, all these years later, you got Joe FreshGoods, who's developed his own sort of camo print. And that's where I feel like the beneath the surface theme really comes in, because yes, camo print is this thing that's supposed to make you invisible, right? It's supposed to have these different layers to it, and what's underneath is like the real you. But also, there's just a ton of history that goes into camo print and its relation with the fashion world, and I think that's really what Joe FreshGoods is tapping into here. So great job, Joe. This stuff is really dope, and I absolutely love to see it. But I also want to talk to y'all about one more thing, and that thing is the fact that I was right. Like, I was right. I called the 610 collab. I told y'all about this. I told y'all this was coming, and now it's here. Give me my flowers, man. Come on, let's talk about it. I tried to tell y'all, man. I tried to tell you, because I told you that this 610 was coming, man. This is the sneaker for 2023, maybe even 2024 for New Balance, man. The 610 is about to have a run. So this is because we're in this weird era, right? Like the sort of stars have aligned for the 610 to have this moment. New Balance has gone to heights that it's never been at before. And we're also really big on gorpcore in fashion right now. And so what that is the whole trail styles that you see from like North Face and Arc'teryx and brands like that. And even in the sneakers where you've got like some Hoka trail runners that are doing really well. You got Nike's ACG stuff that does really, really good. And then you got New Balance right here with the 610 and the Rainier boot and stuff like that, man. Like this stuff is going to sell like hotcakes, honestly. And look, man, the 610 is going to have a moment the same way that the 9060 had its moment after the Joe FreshGoods Inside Voices collab. I think we're looking at the same thing here. In fact, I've already seen another collaboration coming on the way from Bodega on the 610, and it's not gonna stop right there, y'all. The 610 is here. So I really hope that y'all like this sneaker. You're definitely gonna have to get used to it, because listen, man, it is here to stay. I promise y'all. And when the next thing comes, I'll let you know about that too. But in the meantime, make sure y'all listen to me when I say this stuff, man. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, fam, that's a wrap for Special Delivery. I'm your boy Sykes, and this is Joe FreshGoods 610 from the Beneath the Surface collection. We'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.